Hello and welcome to the People Do That podcast.
On this podcast, we're going to talk to people that do epic shit with their lives.
These are people that are good at life. We will talk to life coaches, sports broadcasters, fitness experts, Marine special ops, and even someone who became a doctor after the age of 50. Because you know what?
People do that.
People do that?
People do that.
Well, I give you just a little bit, I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. The sugar tastes sweet, coffee in the pot. Now give me just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, now.
All right, here we are. Podcast day. It's one of our favorite days of the week. Today's a big one because we're going out for cocktails afterwards.
Hey-o.
So I've had this one circled for a while.
Yeah, that cues me up for I'm working on the perfect day right now.
What does that mean?
Well, the big finish is obviously going to have drinks with you guys. And,
Yes.
And I found that my podcast days are pretty energetic anyway. But
Yeah.
let's see. Kissed my wife off to work this morning. Well, she kissed me because I was still sleeping. And she kissed me.
Good
So
for
that
you.
good start.
Good start.
What time? Tell me what time that was and make me feel better about
That
myself.
was about 7:30 or
love
so.
He was going to say
I love
eight.
that.
I know, I was going to say 8.
I
She was
love
7:30.
that.
I'd already heard the kids get up. I could hear the ice rustling in the
Yes.
in the fridge.
that sound.
So I knew they were both out of the house. She gives me a kiss. I roll over. I don't roll back over until after 9.
Yeah.
Hey-o!
Hell
Working on-
yeah.
Working on a good one.
That's a great start.
I ground some beans for my coffee from my favorite coffee shop in Huntington Beach. I'd brought a bag
Oh,
home
nice.
from that. So
Now you're grinding your
I
own
know.
beans?
Look at me. Look at me. I didn't have the backyard trees and concrete mushroom coffee today.
Oh, that's
just went
good.
with
That's
normal
good.
coffee, and I paired that with a nice slice of apple pie for breakfast.
Oh my God, this is happening.
So sat down, watched a little animated cartoon show called Invincible. It's like a superheroes gone bad kind of thing. Very cool. Jackson had recommended it, so enjoyed that for a little bit. Jackson came home for school. We chatted. We had a little bonding time. Then he had to go back for baseball stuff. I went outside and I jumped in the pool for 3 minutes.
You are looking vibrant.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
How did that feel?
What's going
it
on?
hurt. It hurt every step in, and like, oh God.
Oh, you didn't even just jump in.
I didn't jump in. I
You-
walked in.
That's more torturous.
It
for
was.
Sure.
It was. And my goal was 3 minutes. So I set the timer and I figured I'm not just going to stand here. So I walked back and forth in the pool a couple times.
Yeah.
Had to get my hands out.
That's worse, moving in the water.
yeah. It was bad.
Was there a bathing suit involved?
Yes.
or-
Yes.
okay.
Yes. I did do that.
That would have been better.
Hopped out, watered my avocado plant that's still growing. Got that going still. Greenie and rice and chicken bowl for lunch.
From where?
I bought it at Costco. It
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Gave my daughter a hug after I'd been in the pool because she hated that because it was
Yes.
nice and cold. And then you called and said you were going to pick me up at 2. And we're here podcasting and we're going to go for drinks tonight?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
I mean,
non-family day, like not
Yeah.
spending day with the family?
Yeah.
Good way to qualify that. Because of
Thank you.
course you'd rather
Yeah.
be
Good days.
sightseeing with the family.
Yeah, it's not
but
the perfect day.
Of course.
but it's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Working on it.
I'm jealous right now. Jealous. Yeah.
The cold plunge, man, it is. I'm going to start.
That's invigorating. It is invigorating.
Man.
They're saying like it's a 70% less chance of having like a stroke or something or like a heart problem
Yeah.
when you do that.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have a heart problem while I was in there. It was like,
Right.
your
Yeah.
body it goes into fight
It's
or flight.
definitely a
and it is
70%
shock.
chance that you can't have kids after doing it too much.
But also, I don't think like our pool. I don't know what the degrees are, but I don't. People do it in a full thing of ice.
Yeah, I think it's like 40 degrees is supposed to be like the ideal temperature, and I didn't even check to see
Yeah.
what, but I'm guessing it's probably in the 50s or 60s. But woo,
I'm
Yeah.
happy for you,
Eye-opening.
Brian. You deserve days like that.
I
I
agree.
see you grind. There's
Thank you.
times where you're driving to New Mexico one day, Vegas the next day, and just crossing the country watching baseball games. And
Yep.
it sounds easy, but I know it. I'm being serious that you put a lot of time and work in. So for you to have a day like that,
I got my Southwest Companion Pass notice that I
Oh,
got that
God.
for today. Come
mic
on,
drop. If
man.
I could drop this mic,
Wow.
that
and
would,
I can see an old fashioned in my future.
Wow.
Oh, the old fashioned is about an hour away, and that outlook on life actually takes me to our guest today, who we're going to bring in a second, who is just an amazing human, and when you're around him, you have your best day every day.
Awesome.
Should we bring him in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right, guys, today's guest is one of the most inspirational humans I have ever met. Larry Celano has every reason to just sit in a dark room all day and pout and say, why me? But he doesn't. In fact, he does the exact opposite of that. After a baseball career and graduations from the Corona del Sol High School, Larry joined the Army and was sent to an invasion in Panama. Larry was shot, very nearly died, and airlifted to Texas, where he underwent 17 surgeries because the bullet hit his spinal cord. Larry survived, but the injury would leave him paralyzed from the waist down and forced to use a wheelchair the rest of his life. After receiving a Purple Heart, Larry went on to graduate from ASU with a degree in accounting. He worked for the state of Arizona, where he met his future wife, Lisa. They now have 3 amazing kids, a son and twin daughters. The twins were born with Down syndrome and later diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Larry and Lisa are amazing parents to their kids and have learned a lot about how to manage life with disabilities. To try to satisfy his passion for sports and competing, Larry picked up the game of golf from the seated position. His first round was 127, and within a couple months of practice, he shot under 100 and got his first hole-in-one, which has still been elusive to me. He now plays in USGA tournaments for adaptive golfers all over the country and has won 5 tournaments and 2 in the last 2 years. There is so much more to this man, so let's get into it. Brian and Nick, meet the legendary, the one and only, Mr. Larry Celano. What's up, Larry?
Legendary.
Larry.
Legendary.
Are you blushing?
Oh, yeah, I'm blushing. Get me to cry here. No, thank you for that. That was really
You're welcome.
Get me
Absolutely.
all teared up, especially when you start talking about my kids and stuff.
His kids are amazing. So we go way back. I mean, he's been a friend of my wife's family, the Minetti family, for years and years. Best friends with Jimmy Minetti, and we do the Sunday dinners every Sunday, and he's been coming around for years. His kids, his wife. It's just amazing to see. And I mean, I just first knew him. He just a pile of fun rolling in a wheelchair, and Jimmy's like, hey, that's my buddy Larry, and he's like he's part of the family.
It's been over 30 years. Me and Jim would go way back. We crazy days, good times. We've been, like I said, our claim to fame is we've been to 10 straight Super Bowls together. We've been to 2 Final Fours. We've been to we've been in the NBA Finals, now twice. Been the World Series, which was the greatest sports moment in my life. Except for almost when the Cardinals won in Tampa. That was tough.
The greatest moment could have been Larry Fitzgerald running in for the touchdown that we thought won the World Series. Like, I don't know. I was jumping up.
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. Larry Fitzgerald running in for that Super Bowl touchdown. I was like, this is it. We did it.
Oh, dude, I was at the 50-yard line with my wife. I'm here because I could stand up if I hold on. I hold on to the banner. I'm going fucking crazy. My pants are down. I'm in my underwear. Just going. Because that was it. That was our moment. And it's like, because I left the state, after the stadium, because I've been to Super Bowls, and I remember leaving the Super Bowl when the Philadelphia lost and telling the fans we were leaving. It's like, dude, you might not get back here again. Fast forward. But anyway, I remember leaving that stadium, going to Tampa and walking out, because the Florida stadiums all have those little turn times. Well, I go out there, I just give the biggest,
Did it help?
My wife's like, what's wrong? It's like, that was it.
Yeah.
I'll never see this again. I mean, we're that close to. But anyway,
Did Santonio Holmes have 2 feet down?
No, he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds. I guarantee it.
Dockett should have sacked Ben Roethlisberger when it was 4th down.
Not that we're reliving it at all.
Anyway.
Wait, so how many Super Bowls have you been to?
I've been to 19.
19 in attendance.
Wow.
I was fortunate enough that I've got him over the years, and the only time, it's ironic, the only time I ever paid over face value was the year we went to the Super Bowl in Tampa.
Okay.
When the Cardinals went.
So how do you do that? How would you ever buy?
I just apply through the NFL, and like I said, it was a lot easier back in the day. Back in the '90s, it was easier, but now what they do is they're so strict with those tickets that they, like I said, the NFL owners now they have what's NFL on location. That's their scalping business. That's how they scalp their tickets. Instead of just send them to the brokers or whatever, that's how they do it. Yeah. But it's got a lot harder. Like I said, 10 straight years, we were golden. And then the one year I did miss is because I didn't apply because I didn't want to go to Houston. Who wants to go to Houston?
How many years has Jimmy gone along with you?
Yeah,
10 years straight.
And then the next 10 years, now we're talking 15 years. Or maybe 18 years. But I got to take all my other friends. Like I got to take my buddy, Rupel got to go. Ernie went, my wife went. So my Army buddy went 1 year. So I got to take and fulfill that. Because, I mean, what I did is after I got hurt, because I said, as you know, I was big into sports and all. I love playing sports. I mean, I was a midget. I was only 5'7". But I love to play. I love to compete. But what I did after I got hurt, it was like I tell people it was like a treat. It's like, it was my way of playing again. It's just, that's what I did. I mean, me and Jim, we'd go to playoff games. Like, we went and saw we sat in a hotel and watched the Buffalo Houston game when Buffalo came storming back.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
We were in a hotel because we were going to their first playoff game to see the Chargers play. I forgot who it was now. Oh, it was Chiefs. Yeah. Chargers and Chiefs. And this was like in 91, 92. So that was our, because when I got back, I don't know if I'm getting off topic, but I got back. I got Suns tickets. We were at the old arena, so I had those that first year. I didn't have a whole season that first year, but then we were moving to the stadium next year, and then that's when I had the seats. And then I remember sitting at my house, and all of a sudden, Rupel got a call from Buddy Rupel. He got a call from his ex-wife and stuff. She goes, "Do you know Charles Barkley's going to Phoenix?" Oh, dude, we were just so livid. It's like, oh my God, dude, I got these golden tickets now.
Yeah, you're not going to meet a bigger Arizona sports fan than this guy. How many?
Yeah.
Talk about, I mean, I kind of want to go back and set the stage. So I know you're a baseball player at Corona, played for Coach Davini, just like Brian and I did.
Wow. Okay.
But then you decided to go to the Army, and I don't know if you're okay talking a little bit about, how you got injured and how it all went down.
No, I mean, I joined the Army for the reasons that, and I tell people, and people like sometimes look at you. I mean, I joined it because I was 18, and I joined it so I'd be willing to give my life up so somebody can get to that stage of their life. Wow. That's why I would. I mean, I've always patriotic. I still know the fight song from Corona. Who took the sun and gained it for it and harnessed all.
Wow.
So I know.
Do you guys know it?
No.
Jeez. You're making these guys look bad.
But
I know a couple cheers.
But real quick, the reason why we know is because back in high school we had those fundraisers, and one of the years we had mugs.
Oh, the mugs are on it.
Had the fight song on, and we'd party. We'd have cake parties. We'd just sit there and we'd just sit there and drink it, and that's how we learned it. But anyway, so I joined the Army at a high school, which I always wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. I've always wanted to be in the Army. I went and I joined. I got in. I was part of the 82nd Airborne Division, which was great. I mean, I had so much fun back there. It was crazy. Awesome. Like our platoon sergeant said, we're just young, dumb, full of cum.
Where were you stationed? Where did you go?
I was stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
In North Carolina. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
And so, I got stationed there. And then what happened is I was going to pre-Ranger because what we did is before you go to Ranger school, you had to go to pre-Ranger to tough it out. Well, I did my 10 days, and it was a miserable 10 days of my life. I mean, I'm not going to lie about it. But I got back on a Friday, and my feet were frozen. I mean, they were frozen because we had the last day we went. They're telling us to go through this. I mean, it was obstacle course, and then part of the obstacle course had an ice shield over the water, and they're like, "Go through that." Oh, and we all looked at each other. I ain't doing that.
It's like a cold plunge. Now people pay money to do it.
Exactly.
They were just looking after your health.
They totally were because it's funny because we all the bunch of us said we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. Well, the drill sergeants came and said, "Well, if you ain't doing it, you're not graduating." Yeah. Well, we're not doing it, so you're not gonna fail all of us. Well, then these two idiots decided to do it, and then we all had to. But anyway, so my feet were frozen when I got back on Friday. So I went to my platoon sergeant and said, "Hey, can I check in my weapon because you have to clean them?" Because I was dead tired. We averaged 2 hours of sleep. That was the first time in my life I ever slept standing up.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
But so we got back, and then Monday morning came around. Well, I went to sick call because my feet were still frozen. I slept the whole weekend. And then I get back, I go to sick call, I come back, and when we go in lockdown, the phone is taped down, and there's somebody standing, and I get up to the thing, and I go, oh, fuck. Bardwell, don't tell me we just got called out. My buddy Bardwell's fine. So I had to go get my shit and all that. So, and I went to my platoon sergeant, because all the officers want to jump. Because the combat jump is really, I mean, that's your muster club. I'll show you. I brought it off for show and tell.
Combat jump is that's
a combat jump. When you go in another man's country and you jump out of an airplane.
Oof.
Combat
and you see the tracers coming at you and all that.
It takes some huevos to do a combat.
What's a tracer?
Yeah.
The tracers are the bullets from, because in a machine gun, every so many rounds are, so they can know where they're directly firing. because at night you can't see. So the tracers are the light ones to show you, okay, you're shooting that way.
I always wondered what that was.
Oh my goodness, there it is.
So it's like
All
every
right.
so many. I don't know now. I think it was every fifth one. Does it kind of keep you on track? But anyway, so we invaded that anyway, the funny story was that all the officers wanted to go, so I called my platoon sergeant. Hey, Sergeant Wolf, mother didn't raise no dummy. I don't really want to go. If they want my shoot, they can have it. Turn around and shut the fuck up. Get up, Solano. So anyway, but then we invaded, and then what happened is it was an accident. I got shot. My roommate, he was my roommate. He was 18 years old, and what we're doing is we're getting ready. We jumped in. We did our little missions a couple of times, and we're getting ready to go out, and I was a tow gunner, which is a tube-launch, optically tracked wire-guided missile system, short for TOW, which is an anti-tank destroyer. Okay. So we're used to 50 calibers because we also drive Humvees back then because when the Humvees came out. They were fun. But we had the 50 calibers, so they were closed. You put this, you bring the charging handle forward. Well, on a SAW, which we got issued in Panama, when you screen that, and that's where it got me.
Gotcha. So it was your roommate?
Yeah, by accident. Shot you. Oh yeah. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, it was just.
Where were you in relationship to what he was working?
Well, what it was is I was sitting over there on that side, and he was across the room, and it was just like total. We were getting ready to go to Noriega, go get the hostages from the Marriott and all that stuff. But yeah, so that happened. And then a good story, a good feel story, because I had one of my sergeants come and go, Solano, you're lucky. I go, why? Because I went back after a couple of years later, because your flat jacket had the bullet in your heart, and I put the flat jacket on an hour before.
Oh my God!
So I had my 2 shots.
You got shot there.
3, and then the last one was right there.
Oh my! So he shot you 4 times?
Yeah, well, 4. Yeah, because it was
4 total, but that last
one, automatic.
Yeah, just boom, boom, boom.
And it was shrapnel that got in me. Actually, the bullets they ricocheted and then they went in.
Did you not? Were you just like a messy roommate? And he's just like, I can't take this anymore.
No. I mean, like I said, it hurt him because
I can't imagine.
His mother sent flowers and all that, and my thing was. Because after that, I know I'm not making it fun yet, but when we got back, when they got back from Panama, also the next August they went to the first Gulf War. So when they all got back, I went back out there for the first time to see everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. I was still rehabbing and all that.
But you were like, I mean, it almost killed you. Like,
I was supposed to die. I saw the light.
That's what Jimmy was telling me.
Oh
You saw the light.
was coming fast. He was like, oh shit.
Oh,
all right, I'm all right. I mean,
You really thought you were a goner?
No, it was weird. It was light. I mean, it was like going through a forest and trees were just flashing by you real quick.
Oh my God!
And then all of a sudden I woke up and it's like, oh shit. Okay, I'm good.
Were you like, what happened? Did you not know what happened?
Oh, I knew I got shot. Oh, I knew everything.
Really?
Okay, now we'll get funny. When I got shot,
I don't know how this is going to become funny right now.
When you start a story, this is going to be funny. When I got shot,
so there I am, shot.
well, you got to understand who I am. No, but when I got shot, it was weird because like what it was is from here to here just felt like burning. It was like you had shrapnel and it was burning. That's all you felt. Yeah. I was sitting there. All I wanted is a kiss. Somebody just give me a kiss. I just need.
You wanted someone to kiss you?
I don't know. I don't know. I just needed something, and then dude did that. It's like, all right, cool, I'm good to go.
Oh, jeez.
That was
my
all.
goodness.
But I don't know. It was the morphine. It was just the opposite. I mean, I just needed some. I don't know. I mean, you said your body goes in shock. You don't even know what you're doing.
And then you wake up in a hospital in Texas.
No. I woke up. Hell no. I woke up. Let me see. Okay. I woke up in the MASH unit one time because I remember them putting me through, and then I remember waking up on the tarmac. And it was fucking cold, and I was all naked. And it's like, man, I'm cold. And then I remember waking up once in the plane. I woke up in the plane, and I was like, where am I? Where are you? You're going back to the States. Go back to the States. All right, cool.
Okay.
Right, cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So, so that's the ordeal of my day. And then once I got back to San Antonio, they brought us to San Antonio, Wilford Hall in San Antonio. That's where the Air Force, the Air Force hospital we went to.
You did have a VIP visitor come see you, didn't you?
Oh yeah. No, actually, well, real quick, I got the last crying story, and then I'll move on to that. So I get there. Now I'm dead. I know I'm bucked up. So anyway, I call my family. I couldn't remember. I mean, it's weird because your body just takes over, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have phones. We didn't have no.
Yeah.
I mean, we had no numbers. And they were like asking me, and I don't remember ever saying the numbers, but all I remember is I left a message on my dad's phone. But Dad, fucking, I'm hurt. And I hung up and I called my grandma. My grandma picks up, and I'm like, Grandma, I'm fucking hurt. I need you, and I need you now. And but anyway.
Oh my goodness.
It probably just
Yeah.
the memories
Oh, yeah.
just flood
And you
back.
just knew their numbers somehow?
the number.
Yeah, I mean, because because back then you
Yeah.
always dialed your number,
Right.
8675309. But
I'm surprised you didn't call that one. Yeah.
Jenny's number.
Yeah.
so
Called my dad, called my grandma, called Jenny.
so I got to hold my mother, and then because like I said, I got shot on December 22nd, and Christmas is big in our house, so and that was their Christmas present. But they were all there. They were there for Christmas Eve, so that was.
So they all came.
Yeah, they all flew. We're fortunate enough that Ross Perot, rest in peace. He donated a lot of money for the families to come and visit because there was 26 killed. Don't hold me to that because I it's in my memory. And there was 26 permanently injured, like me. And then there was I think 19 dead. And then a lot of their people got killed, but that's war.
Why were we invading Panama, by the way?
We were invading Panama because of the conspiracy theory is because George Bush had property down there, but the real reason we invaded was because of Noriega was the drug lord that was running drugs, and we told him to stop it. We gave him all this thing, and then he just said, "Screw you guys." And then what happened? The trigger was. One of the soldiers' families got kind of sodomized, and that was the end of it. They were just like, "We got to go.
we're going in.
We
We're
got
going
to
in.
fix this
Yeah.
and get all that."
So you've answered my question. So December 22nd was the day of the incident?
Yep, I got shot on December 20th.
Okay.
That's what we call it. That was my new birthday.
I was going to wonder.
Yeah.
I was like, do you celebrate that day now? Do you acknowledge it? Do you dread it?
I don't dread anything.
Good.
You know,
Good for you.
No, I don't dread. It used to be. I mean, there was some years I swear to God, I didn't even. I just forget because it's just around the holidays and all that.
Yeah.
But then there's some one day at the. You guys gonna get me to cry too much. Too.
It's all right.
We'll get you back.
My anniversary was coming up. It was my 20th anniversary. We were at the racetrack and we were all getting drunk. Oh, the racetrack's great. And then I just started freaking crying because I wanted my dad there for it because him and my grandmother, they were there the whole time I got shot. I mean, the whole time. He worked for Mossberg's rifles back in Connecticut, and they paid. I mean, it was just amazing the outpour, the support, and like I said, I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and it's like, how did you make it, Larry? And it's like, my friends and family and friends. I mean, if you don't have that, it's a long haul. I mean, I was 20 years old, man. I was invincible, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was paratrooper. I jumped out of airplanes.
Right.
You know, I'd go chase jumps and stuff. And then I got hurt, and then I was just terrified of going out in public. But I had really good support at the hospital too. Like one of the guys there, he was really cool because the Spurs were playing the Bulls. This was like I said, 1990.
1990?
1990, the Bulls. This was the Bulls team.
Right before they won
you're
it.
in his alley
I'm
with
from
the Bills.
Chicago,
Okay,
so yeah.
and Sean Elliott was playing it, and I was a big U of A fan.
Yeah,
but
U
I
of
was
A.
stationed in North Carolina. You had to choose a team in North Carolina for basketball.
Yeah.
And I wasn't
Right.
choosing ASU.
No
so
offense.
we're
Yeah.
a big U of A fan, and then I got hurt, and I was there, and I was like, man, the Bulls are coming to town. I go, man, I'd like to go. Sean Elliott, da da da. And then he goes, well, he made a phone call, and then all of a sudden I go, dude, you're going. We're going.
Really?
And I was so terrified, though.
Really?
Oh,
To being in public.
just
and
because
it-
I mean, I looked at myself at that point as a half man. I mean, I was, and here I was just terrified, but that helped me out so much because then, as you know, I've gone to concerts by myself. I've gone to sporting events. I've done, so that little moment actually got my mind out of the.
What were you? So, I would like to say that I know what you're saying, but I have no fucking idea what you're saying. Like, oh yeah, I get it. Like, I don't fucking get it at all because I don't. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm sitting here and I don't even know how to feel about that was the first time that you kind of exposed yourself to the public at that point.
Yes.
Because you were in this hospital. So what was it about going out? Was it the way that people were going to look at you, react to you? Or was it like, how do I get in the fucking car?
No, it was more like, because growing up, in the 70s and 80s, everybody made fun of it. I mean, that's when we were still keeping kids, like I got Down syndrome daughters. They were still keeping them in institutions. So it was like, people made fun of everybody, and all that.
Yeah.
And that was,
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood, and that was the fear. It was a fear to go out and people sit there and laugh. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
But, like I said, that one basketball game changed.
And was it awesome?
Oh, it's great. Oh,
And
yeah.
how many did Jordan have that night?
I don't even remember. I was on so many drugs. I was on morphine or Demerol, and because that's my biggest fear is getting when I got hurt, getting addicted to morphine and Demerol and all that. And, So I wouldn't take it because I had a PC pump. Just push that motherfucker every time. But only up to nothing. So, but I wouldn't push it, and I'd be in pain and all that. And I had a beautiful nurse, and like I said, when I came to one time, she was right there. I go, oh my God, Queenie. Queenie. I mean, it was just like, I'm telling you, it was an aura. And, but that was her nickname for Queenie. And then she came in, she goes, Larry, you're in pain too much. Would you start taking this? We're not going to let you get addicted to it. Blah, 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 blah. So once she said that, boy,
just tap
fast enough. And that's when I start, people say, how'd you get through it? And that's where my joke is, I had beautiful women, free drugs.
To get you through a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, we'll get back to Tim's story now. This is Christmas Eve. And if you look up the papers, you can look up the articles that I had out there. My mother said some comment about if George Bush doesn't visit me, I'm going to have my resignation on his desk. And when I said
that?
I don't remember saying that. My mother said I said that. I don't remember saying that. I know. I got mad. I was like, Mom, you can't say stuff like that. I can't do that. But anyway, he came on New Year's Eve. Okay. Or I don't know if it was New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. But anyway, he came in and... Now I was in bed and I had this big incision. I mean, this thing was wide open. It was that deep, and they would take the gauze out, and it would. That's when they have to shoot me up the morphine to kind of like relieve the pain. Well, they're getting ready to change it before he came in. Right? So now here I am. I am freaking 3 sheets to the wind. I got my family on one side, the other side. My buddy Rupel was there. Yeah, it was funny. I got a story about him with there. So now all of a sudden. You see the CIA, because now I was laying like this, and then the door was over there, and all of a sudden the CIA came through, and all of a sudden he came in. I mean, you felt this aura. I mean, it was weird because it's like, holy shit, what's this feeling coming out? And then I'm like this. Barbara? Barbara? Is that you, Barbara? Come here, give me a hug and kiss.
Wait, is that really what you said to the First Lady of the United States?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Barbara loved me. Oh, yeah. No, it was great. She said, you bet you in the Southern draw and stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I had some, like I said, I had some good times. And then he came and he was talking. Like I said, the aura, that was, but the best part of that was when Barbara came in. It's like, it was like, Barbara, give me a hug and kiss. You betcha. Because we grew up in Connecticut, and we'd go, my dad would take us all around the New England states. And we went by Kennebunkport, Maine. And that's what, because they had this thing that would just big splash and stuff, and I was just telling her.
Well, you see so many things too, and like politicians, it kind of looks like a photo op sometimes, and maybe it is, whatever. But the difference that it could make to somebody, you know what I mean? Like they can't touch every life of everybody in their country or state or whatever. But the impact that had on you, for her to come see you, and for George Bush Sr. to come in and see you, that's pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. It was great. Like I said, the best time was though when the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders came in. Now me and my grandfather were there. Nobody else was there yet.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh no, that was Miss America that came in. Miss America comes in. She comes in at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. My grandfather's there sitting there, and all of a sudden, Grandpapa's hitting me. Whoa, what do we got here?
Did you call her out too? If Miss America doesn't come to me, I am going to move to Canada. I'm out of here. Right? if the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders don't show up.
But yeah, no, it was like I said, it was like I said, I had for as bad of a time as I had, so much fun. I mean, I don't know.
How long were you there? I mean,
I was
these
in
events
San Antonio 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
And then they flew me to Long Beach, VA.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough because I was the first person in that bed for the spinal cord center there. But another great story.
Yeah.
Like I said, the world's small. So now I fly. My dad flies to me, my grandmother, because my grandmother wasn't keeping an eye. She was not keeping. She was not taking an eye off me.
Yeah.
And so we flew in, and then I get in the ambulance and stuff, and I was like, "Bergie, is that you?" It was my buddy John Bergsman.
Oh, really?
We went to high school with. He was because he was in the Navy. He was the freaking the ambulance driver when I pulled into San Antonio to take me to the hospital. It's like,
That's
Oh my
crazy. You can't
God.
make that
oh
up.
yeah, no, it was great.
Oh
It's
my
like,
gosh.
So then you go to ASU. I used to run into you at ASU too.
Yeah, exactly.
see
Well,
it.
I started out I went to community college first. I went to South Mountain.
Okay.
Did 2 years, and then I transferred over.
Cougars?
Go Cougars. Yeah.
Cougars.
No, they were the Rebel. Oh wait, no, they were the Jaguars or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
They changed. That.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then you go to ASU. I used to run into you on just around the MU.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And then you go to work, and you graduated with a accounting degree.
Yep, minor in political science, but I won't get in that part. I love some political science, but anyway. I got a minor in political science, majored in accounting. Then I went and I went and got a job because I said I just want to work for the state because I was always feeling that as an accountant you can do one of two things. You can go work in the private sector and help, these more, or you can go into the public sector and work and actually help.
Yeah,
The community.
help people that need it. And,
The community,
right. Yeah,
you're helping out, the taxpayers or whatever. Yeah. I worked there for 5 years, and then I re-retired because I was making more money than everybody else, and everybody else was doing a lot more than me. And my body started breaking down a little bit, and it's like, it's not worth it. I mean, the VA takes very good care of me. Money was never an issue. I was just working, and they love me at work because they have issues at state and. Go to Larry. Larry will talk shit. He don't care about his job.
He does not have a filter.
care.
I know that.
I cared about my job,
Sure.
but I also care more about the people that work there.
Yeah.
And I would take my risk because I was still getting.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how much the VA pays me. But.
I do remember that brings me back to ASU though, because one of the times I saw him, and there's, how you get like the just random preacher guy that's just like on a mic, like just like Jesus will save you. You're going to hell. You will be condemned to hell. And everybody's just kind of, myself included, just cowering away from that person. Just like, oh, that's just so awkward. Just be quiet or whatever. And then I see this guy rolling up on the wheelchair. Would you shut the hell up? Nobody wants to hear. Like he's just blasting this guy, and he was saying everything that everybody else wanted to say. Yeah. But
did you know him at the time?
Yeah, I know him. I'm like, God, that guy in the wheelchair is just ripping that guy. I'm like, oh, I know him.
Oh, that's
Larry.
Yeah. No,
I barely. I mean, I'd known him for like 3 years at that point.
I hated that. They do that Super Bowl and stuff. It's like, I don't go to your church on Sunday and do, hey, let's go freaking Jake, Jake Plummer. Jake, I don't do that.
Come on, man.
So, but yeah.
So anyways, and then you met Lisa?
Yes, I met her at the state. I mean, I've met her, but I was always in the Army. You didn't fraternize. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, so I quit that, and then we went on a date, and that's when I had my first kiss with her, and then that was 2001. We dated for 4 years. We had a bastard child. She got pregnant before we got married.
Okay.
Hey, join the club.
That's right.
3 out of 4.
Nick's in the minority here.
So, and then me and her got married in 2007, and 2008 the twins were born, and
Awesome.
But then 2001 came though. I learned and picked up golf. Ooh. And I got good. I started getting good at it.
You're doing our segue for us, man. Here we
Yeah,
go.
he's
Here we go.
But so I met the wife. We I mean, been married. Not quite 20 years yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, no, it's all good.
Cool.
House paid off, cars are paid off.
Really? That's awesome.
Pretty good.
Yeah, no.
So you gotta spend got some quality time, some fun time, and you pick up the game of golf.
Golf. Oh
Yes.
yes.
Now, did you golf before?
Never golfed in my
Never
life.
golfed before.
Never golfed.
Okay.
There was one time that I was in my wheelchair and like Elder, remember Chris Elder?
Yeah.
We all went out on Ken McDonald airplane and
Go.
and I actually chipped it up there and I parred the hole and it's like, wow, that's kind of cool. But that was before and then in 2001 all like Ernie and all them started golfing, all my buddies started golfing and it's like I made a phone call to this lady. I actually got to search online. Google wasn't here yet. You got to actually do the
On
search.
AOL.
Yeah, the dial-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but I found the lady Kathy Corbin. I mean, I don't know how I remember her name, but she was a godsend to me. Did about 5, 6, 7 lessons. She showed me that there was a solo rider golf cart for adaptive golf up at the city of Phoenix, Aguila. And I'd go there every day, and then I started getting good and started to realize that, you know, those big 460cc drivers, you get those. That ball goes a lot further. And it's like, oh, yeah, it was on.
So the cart is like really cool. The one I saw him play on, I mean, it kind of looks a little bit like a sleek John Deere tractor kind of thing, but his chair on it swivels. So like he can drive it, but then he like swivels to the side and then he's over the ball just like that. So
yeah.
And then you can.
yeah. And one time I was just playing golf at Whirlwind with 3 guys, and you know how there's always like, you hope it's just you 3, and then they're like, we paired you with a single, and you're like, oh God, why?
But it
Hopefully
was
it's not lame.
me.
It was Larry. It was not lame. And then he kicked our asses in golf. He beat all of us, and but it was just amazing just to watch him do it.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
no, like I said, the solo rider. Like I said, there's 2 different kinds of carts. There's what we call a solo rider, which is basically a condensed version of a regular golf cart.
Okay.
And then the seat swivels, and it has a tractor, almost what do I call those for steering wheel? Not a.
Yeah, like handlebars.
Like a handlebar,
And then the gas and all that, and the seat swivels, and it will actually raise you up because there are guys that play standing up. And then there's another cart called the Paramotion, and it's got 2 wheels in front and 1, and it's kind of swivels, but that'll stand you straight up as well.
Okay. Clubs behind you. Just you got
My
no
solo
clubs, or
rider
you-
clubs are right in front.
Right in front. Okay. Cool.
I don't know, I got all kinds of.
Oh yeah.
But
This is where you usually jump in. Okay, all right. Pretend like I'm 5 years old and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
logistics of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 'cause
Because I'm picturing this too now. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm about to go to the, I've played a lot of courses that have a lot of weird angles
Yes.
and bunkers and things.
Yes.
How does this all work?
that's how I sit off the edge,
Okay.
So you're actually
sitting on the
you're
edge
on something. You're sitting on
that
something.
seat. Yeah, because that seat swivels.
I do remember. So Dr. Brett Spurbeck, my dentist and friend, he was actually playing golf with me that day when we saw Larry. And you know, you see a guy in the wheelchair, you want to be very careful about what you say or whatever. So you know, you just don't want to say anything. And Larry's playing, and Brett hit a drive about halfway through. Once we got to know Larry a little bit, and just shanked it to the right. And he's like, I didn't get my legs into that. And just it was silence because Brett realized what he said in front of a man who's a seated golfer, and he's like, "I am so sorry that I said that." And Larry didn't matter.
Larry's like, I don't care. I'm kicking your ass anyways.
I'm up 7 on you with 3 to go. So
I mean, that's the way I kind of like take golf. Golf to me is I don't even want you to even realize I'm disabled. I mean, when you're done with me, you shouldn't even know. You should just like, oh shit, 100%. Please think I play golf.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole. That's
how
So-
do you do the bunkers? That's what Nick was asking. Like,
Yeah, actually, I want to go. I want to go before that.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead.
what is the? You're just like hanging out one day, and then you go, maybe I should go golfing. Like, what actually happens in your brain that goes, I'm gonna do that?
How
It was just. I mean, like I said, my friends started doing. I was retired. So I was like, what else do I do? And then when I went and realized, because I for the first 2 months, I was just sitting on my wheelchair.
Okay.
And then
So
like,
your buddy
at
was
the
golf,
range?
and then you're like, I'll go to the range with you and see if I could do it.
No, I'm not that dumb. No, I went and I Googled. I went and learned before I went out with my friends.
Okay, so you went and took lessons.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's who you mentioned, the person that taught
Kathy,
you golf.
yep.
And does she specialize in adaptive golf?
Yes, she did. She actually did.
Okay.
Yep.
So then you went to her, and then she was like, okay, for someone in your condition, this is how you're going to approach a backswing, a putt, or whatever. And then you started learning that.
Yep.
And then you're like, I think I can actually do this.
Yep. And
Like
then-
something in your brain was like, this actually works.
Oh yeah, no, wait. Like I said, it's like a drug. Because I would go to my lessons and we work on stuff, and then she'd give me a card. She'd write everything down. Yeah. And I'd be like the little good student athlete, you know. And I would go and I would practice that 3 days a week, 3 times that week. I go back the next week. We work on something else, and then she's like, "Okay, you're ready." And that's when she introduced me to the the adaptive cart because they didn't have one so she told me that Aguilar has a solar rider, and that's when I got onto the course for the first time.
Okay.
I never went on the course in my wheelchair. So
one
I
thing I
was hitting balls for 3 months before or 2 months. And then
It's probably what most people should do before you get on the course. Like,
Yeah.
just practice first.
Yeah.
But what was the lady's name again?
Kathy Corbin.
Yeah.
But just think about, like, we talk about people do that. Like, she chooses to give golf lessons to adaptive golfers and the impact that she's had on his life because of the time that she spent, and you know what I mean with
And that was in 2001.
Yeah.
Now it's so great now because you could go. We got our umbrella. Our umbrella adaptive agencies, USAGA, which is United States Adaptive Golf Alliance, and under there you can find lessons. There's all the different. I think there's 34 different types of chapters, whether it be one arm, amputees.
I saw a guy the other day
amazing.
blind.
Oh yeah, the blind golfers.
And his dad lines him up.
Oh yeah.
He's shooting in the 70s.
Oh yeah, no.
It's
no,
like
blind
it's like
golfer. No, blind
yeah.
golfer. My favorite golfer is the one-legged. Because, I mean, just think about that. They're on one leg. And they sit up there and they just...
Wow.
Like my first tournament, 2019, I go. And I'm getting ready to tee off. I'm the next tee time up. The dude, I think it's Ryan, I think his name is. But I get people's names because I met so many people. But he gets up there, drops his crutches, gets up there, tees up, and this. I'm like, dude, I freaking go crazy.
Is
like,
anything
I'm like,
helping?
oh, shit! Look, oh my god! It was just the most amazing.
And is he just hopping around?
Yeah. Oh, it's the most amazing
Like,
thing.
nothing's holding him. His balance is that good on one leg.
Oh, yeah.
Goodness.
I can't even stand on one leg for 1 second.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
hitting 250-yard
Oh,
drives
yeah.
down the middle.
No, he's
incredible.
amazing. And then it was funny. I was talking. I was like, man, because he comes. Everybody, we all inspire each other. And like, dude, you're the most amazing. When I want to hit a fade, my fat stomach this way. When I want to draw, it's just like, oh, dude,
Wow.
you're awesome.
That's
God,
great.
that is crazy.
But
Yeah, you probably met some really interesting people in that, in that field. Just like traveling to these tournaments, playing all over the country.
Yeah.
It's a whole new family to me now. It's just like, I look forward. My problem sometimes is I get too excited to see everybody, and sometimes my game slips a little bit because I'm trying to teach all the younger kids that are coming up is that. You play 4 or 5 hours, sometimes 6 hours. You need to know those 3 people you're with.
Yeah.
If you don't know the players you're playing with when you're done in these adaptive tournaments,
Yeah.
you're missing the reason why we're here.
Got it.
That's a
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Great
saying?
lesson
So I
right
mean,
there.
it's just like, and I keep preaching that, and that's the golden rule. I mean, we start with world rankings, and there's a world ranking there. There's we have a U.S. rankings, and that kind of gets the competitive juices flowing, and it takes a little bit out of it. But
Right.
we're working through that part of it because
Yeah.
if you, like I said, if you don't. I mean, the last tournament I just had such a great time. I won, and I had to do my so, in my best Johnny drama. Victory! I mean, it's just that kind of stuff to get people excited, and to realize that there's more. Like I said, I tell people I go there to play my best. I don't care if I win or lose, because like I said, I mean I shot a 77. The next day I had an 82 with an eagle, my first eagle in competition. My best friend.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
if I lose, how can you be mad?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, somebody
You're playing golf.
Get
You're
to play
meeting
golf.
good people.
Yeah.
You're,
yeah. Dude, I go to these golf tournaments. I'm golfing for 4 days.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
4 days. You get to golf for 4 days, and my wife lets me do this.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
saint.
You
by
know,
the
the
way.
Most
Saint
incredible
Lisa.
part.
I mean, because she has to stay. I mean, like I said, that's where this part I get a little emotional about. I mean, she has to stay home with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult to have twin daughters. One's nonverbal. They both have Down syndrome and the diabetes and this, and it's like. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you got to make sure they eat, make sure they get the insulin, make sure. And then here I am just having a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hanging out with these guys, drinking,
Yeah.
And she's back home. But what golf has done, though, is it allowed me, because, I get to play in Pinehurst, North Carolina, which is about 45 minutes from where I was stationed in Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got,
Pinehurst.
last year I got, my wife, so she went the last 2 years with me because it's important for her to be there at those national tournaments for me. And I got to take her back to Fort Bragg to see where I was stationed.
Wow.
And that was big for me. And so that was good. And then 2 years ago, or that same year, I played in Virginia. It was Laurel Hill. I played my best golf tournament ever. It was great. I shot 81, 82, 83. It was just so. But I took my son there, and I got to take him to Arlington. And it was big for me because that's where my buddy who got killed in Panama, that's where he, and I wanted him to see his dad cry and laugh and talk. I mean, it was the most, it was the greatest
I can't
thing.
imagine.
Just to, I roll a J up there. I'm getting high with him. I don't.
With your son?
I love it.
No, not my son. With my buddy.
Yeah.
I asked him. He said no. But, so because when I go to Arlington, I've been there 3 times, and when I go through the freaking doors, I'm freaking crying.
Yeah.
And people's like, "What's wrong?" I'm just here to see my buddy.
Yeah.
And because that was, I've done a lot. I had to deal with my daughters and all that, but that was the toughest day of my life was when I had to go see his grave. That was just heart wrenching. And the best part about it was because I went South Mountain. I said South Mountain. I got picked to go because I was a minority because in a wheelchair, and they were taking people to do a CIA and NSA tour in D.C. So I freaking signed up and I got picked.
Yeah.
I get this free. It was like a $2,000 trip. So I get there and I go, hey, I want to go to Arlington. And so a couple other girls and all that. Mm-hmm. So I go there and I'm freaking crying, get in the van, and the freaking girls come up to me. I understand what you're going through. My uncle got killed in Vietnam, and it was like, and it was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But that was the toughest moment I had. But back to the golf part, I got to bring my son to do that, and that was big. And then also my wife got to go where I was stationed. That was some big thing. In golf, allowed that to happen. You know?
How did you when did you realize you knew that you were pretty good, but then how did you it sounds like you fully immersed yourself into figuring out these tournaments and the network and everything. You're just part of it now. How did you what was the thing that you were like, all right, I'm on the computer and it looks like there's this tournament. How did it actually work?
Well, I stumbled upon it because I keep in contact with the guy at Solo Rider. His name is Eric Hatch.
Solo Riders?
Solo Rider.
Okay.
Yep. And I keep in contact with him, and he's like, there's this tournament called the United States Disabled Golf Open. It's like, really? How come you didn't tell me about this last year? But anyway, so I love you, Eric. But so then he told me about it, and then I signed up, and I went. And another good golf story is I went to my first tournament in Virginia in 2019, and see, back to the crying part. One of my Army buddies, who's one of the last ones to see me walking, actually lived there, and he came out and watched me.
Wow.
So it was great.
Man.
So, but anyway, so I went to that first tournament, and that's where, I came in second.
Did you get addicted? Did you feel like you were man, I need this?
I was down one stroke for first night, for that first round, and I was like, talking to my buddy because we were I had a margarita with him. Dude, I'm just fucking one stroke back.
But you only had one because you're one stroke back and you can't get fucked up that night.
I don't drink at golf tournaments no more until the last day. But anyway, so the next day I come on fire. Dude, I was like, because that was the last time they let us play together, the seeded guys in the final round. And dude, I came out. I took after 6 holes, I was up 4 strokes, right? I was just on fire. I hit this shot, right? I had my 8 hybrid, and I hit this bitch. It was like, that ball landed right, and there was these 2 ladies standing up because it was a big hill. I rolled up there, my friend. Can you hear the crowd roaring now?
Just talking shit.
But then I go triple double.
Of course.
All done.
Golf will
Goodbye,
humble
Larry.
you fast.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
But that's when I got that competitive because, another story that'll probably make me cry again is when I woke up that morning, that first morning of the first tournament, I was just freaking crying like a little bitch. Excuse me, French. I was just crying. And it's like, I don't know. I call my dad. He's like, what's wrong? Dad, I waited 30 years for this.
Oh, man.
Just 30 years, and it's here. Today is here.
Incredible.
And, but yeah, I went out and played good, and then, the next day I went out.
And when did this whole journey start? When you started?
2019.
In 19, okay.
Yeah.
So
When did you take your first lesson? 18 then?
My first lesson was 2001.
2001.
So
Okay.
there was a long gap before I
Yeah.
got. I was just playing.
So you were just playing.
Oh, so you were just
normal-
playing.
Oh yeah,
you were just.
I was trying to go in tournaments and
normal
win.
courses and okay, all right.
Yeah, and then 2009, I got introduced to that, and then I went to another tournament up in Clymer, New York, God, it was just out in the middle of nowhere. But I won that. Was my first time winning seeded division because we call ourselves seeded golfers.
Seeded.
So, and that's what we did. We actually started a seeded golfers association.
He's got his own logo. Everything.
I can't help but think, and this is such a fucking small question, but I can't help but think about it. What about when you have a bad lie that you can't get your cart to?
And that's what we're working on. We're working on the rules. With bunkers, they're working on the rules because the way we kind of play it is if you can get in the bunker, you can move it to a spot where it's safe. Because it's all about safety.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about...
Yeah, you don't want to be falling over and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working on that. The first U.S. Adaptive Open, which is put on by the USGA, the first year it was this bunch of bullshit. The rules was you could only move it 6 inches because in the new rules they got rule 25 which is for adaptive golf. Within that there's local rules that you can make, and one of the local rules is seated guys or seated gals, ladies, girls, guys. We can move the ball like 6 inches so we don't have to keep moving the cart back and forth.
Okay.
Pace of play. They made that rule for the bunkers as well. So if you had a ball and you could, like you said, you couldn't get to it, well you had two choices: move it to the middle of the bunker for a penalty stroke, or you could pull it out, keep it on the line of play. Fast forward to next year, they realized, because we've talked with them and they've done a lot of work because they're constantly trying to make this right. And so the last year, what they did is they gave us the option: if you couldn't get to it, move it to a safe spot in the bunker and hit it out. If you chose you couldn't get in there, you call it unplayable, then you have to pull it out for
Unplayable lie.
Yeah. So we're still working on that. You know, like there's some bunkers. It's like you can't get in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, the last Adaptive Open, it was great because what it is Ben. He's the rules guy and all that. Him and another guy had each one of the different carts, and they actually went through the bunkers to kind of. To see what we're talking about.
See what you can do.
And the best thing ever happened is the first bunker you got in, they got stuck.
Oh no.
That was the best thing that could ever happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now, they're understanding and all
Because
that.
if it's the same for everyone, then why does it matter?
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
that's what we're trying to do.
It's like just do
Actually,
it.
it's harder for us because we're still down, you know. But so they're working on it. They had a big meeting they're working on it with the RNA because in Europe they won't even let us bump the ball. We call it bumping.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah, they're trying to keep it a tradition. It's like, and then move you back tee boxes. It's like
Just from a competitive standpoint, Nick and I played in a golf tournament up in Flagstaff this year, and it's not like just a for fun charity golf tournament. You're like trying to be as serious as you can about a golf tournament, and there's like nerves when it comes to sports. But there's no nerves like trying to hit a golf ball when you're kind of nervous. And so like, and that was for our like little make-believe golf tournament. We're up there. What were your like you said you were excited that morning, you teared up, but like when you're playing golf, like do you get any nerves? Like
hell
hitting that
yeah.
first tee shot and good, because I thought it was just me. I thought it was soft.
it starts a week out.
Yeah. Okay.
gosh,
It
yeah.
starts a week out
Yeah.
now. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
now and it's like, wait a minute, you do this you golf every day and all that, and that first tee shot, once you get it out in the middle, you're like, oh god.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Sometimes it takes 4 holes for me to get that one out in the middle.
So I'm an Adaptive Open the first year, second day or third day, I don't know. It was the third day. Take my tee shot. Now I'm getting there. So you hit that thing. Thing went 30 yards. It was, you know how they cut out the middle of the.
Yeah.
It was like laying. At least it was laying in that. Like,
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then I went tripled.
Because it's easy for things to snowball. Yeah.
I
It can snowball.
And then I came back out the front. I shoot a 50 something. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I come back.
You didn't post that one on Facebook. I didn't see that one. I'm just joking.
Yeah, it's out there.
And then I proceeded to come back with a 42, the back nine.
There you go.
Nice.
So what's the plan for this golf? You're just going to keep doing it?
Well,
like
here's
what?
the plan. The plan is right now. I'm right now the president of the United States Seated Golfers Association. We just started. The reason why we started is because, as you can see, we have these machines that are expensive and they're hard. You know, you can't bring your own personal. So we're trying to figure out a way to raise money to actually help pay for this. So that's kind of what that's where a lot of my energy is going to be starting.
Did you say they're not personal? That they're do you own your own?
I have my own, but it's impossible to bring it to Florida.
Perfect. Okay,
Oh, I
makes
see.
sense. So when you go to Florida, you're relying on.
We're relying on the tournament director to figure it out,
okay.
or
Okay.
Solar Rider does do a couple tournaments, but it's all starting to get expensive. So we're trying to figure out a way to help alleviate that. So that's where we kind of started.
Okay.
And plus, we didn't. It was getting because it costs money. I mean, it costs $15,000 to $2,000 to go to a tournament.
Yeah.
And you get there and there's only 2 seated players. So we're trying to make it where. Because we want to grow this thing, and, and you don't want to go and play 2 other players when,
I love that you're trying to grow it because you see what's possible and you see the joy that it's brought to your life and how many other people are in a wheelchair that might even think, well, I can't golf. Like you have to be able to stand to golf. And you're opening that up to so many people where they see that and they're like, oh, wait, maybe that is a thing that I can do, which is so impressive.
Golf is, like we say, is the most accessible sport of all of them. I mean, anybody can do. I mean, you should see some of the guys they have. Like I said, I always talk about Jim Hunt.
No arms, no leg.
Prosthetics.
Oh, prosthetics.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Prosthetic arms?
both arms and legs.
Oh my God.
What does he have to do? Like mold the fingers into the grip?
No, they have because Ping's really big on adaptive golf right now. So they work on all different kinds of different ways to clip on things and all that.
Wow.
See, I don't know all the stuff about the hand stuff just because I'm still learning though.
There is that.
But I am learning though. That's the beauty of it because every tournament I try to learn about a different ability. We call them abilities, not disabilities.
What else have you seen out there? I mean, what like you just happened to fall into golf, right? You went out with a buddy or whatever, but my guess is in your network and like you said, it's about the people that you're meeting.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're about to tell me some other amazing shit that people that are in chairs do. What is it?
I know one thing he's done. Yeah. You skied.
Oh yeah. There's all. You're talking about it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Other sports.
Skiing's fun.
Okay.
But I'm too old because it's too dangerous. There's basketball. There's like I said, there's curling. They just started curling and But no, I mean there's no limits. Like there's this one young kid up in Utah, Max, and he got hurt like not quite 2 years, a little under 2 years, and he's the most inspiring kid because you get hurt and it usually takes you a good 1.5 years, 2 years. You usually go if you're older, you drugs, alcohol, depression, and this kid came out and he goes to the U.S. Adaptive Open and fires a freaking 70.
Oh my God.
Oh man! And I was the most excited person. I mean, it was just so great. I mean, to have one of ours, a seated player, go out there and he was like in the top 10. So.
And how long had he gotten hurt?
Like 1.5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So there's and that's what the good thing with golf is it's starting. People are starting to realize, well, I could do this. I can get out there. I mean, the fresh air.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many.
Well, and it could be an outlet, like you were saying. Like you were afraid you were going to get addicted to painkillers. I mean, golf is addictive in a different way. But if it could be something that you're like passionate about, like because when you get into golf, like there's times where you just wake up thinking about it, go to bed thinking about it. No. But if that can be like an outlet for somebody that just went through something traumatic and they know that that's a much healthier addiction than the other options out there.
And that's what we're doing. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, if you go out there, you'll see. I mean, there's like I said, U.S. Adaptive Golf Alliance has got so many different things and so many different people, and it's just growing. And like I said, once the USGA got on it and gave us our national championship, we have our national championship. That just changed the whole game. I mean,
how many people are there for that?
The U.S. Adaptive Open had 96 golfers from around the world. Nice. I know the first year had 22 states and like 20 countries. There's usually 20 women, and then 76 men usually. And then they break them through different categories. There's like we were considered seated, so anybody there's that one. Then there's one arm. Then they have one leg. Then they do multiples. Then there's
neurological.
Neurological. And then there's intellectual. I think that was and short statured.
Go.
Wow. So they break it all up.
Yeah.
I have a question though, because you mentioned that you don't call it disabilities, you call it abilities, which I think is great. you also said that when you were growing up, which I know is true, in the early 80s, people made fun of people in wheelchairs or, like something was wrong. And this is a sensitive subject, but now that you've been through what you've been through and having kids with special needs, like how do you feel about like the terminology of, you know what I mean? Like of that.
See, I don't care about terms. I don't get like the word, everybody gets offended when you say you're gay or a fag or all that.
Right.
People get offended with that one, but when they say, "Oh, I'm retarded," or "You're retarded," everybody laughs.
Right.
So, but I don't get that. I mean, to me, if you come up to my daughter and say, "Hey, look at that retarded," we got a problem.
Yeah.
But if you just say, "Oh, I'm retarded," if you attack,
It's the way that you're doing it.
That's me though.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get everybody has their ways. I mean, I should have died when I was 20. So I mean, I got a lease on life that
words are probably not gonna.
Yeah.
They're not gonna do a whole lot to affect you. Yeah.
Words.
Yeah.
No.
I would prefer that you didn't say that. Did you die?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's right. You fucking didn't.
But yeah, so like I said, I'm not easily offended. So I mean, it's like, if you attack a personally, that's.
You mentioned your wife coming along on some of the trips, going to see you golf. Has the whole family come out to see you golf? Do they enjoy it? Are they capable? Are they entertained? Are they like Dad just goes golf?
The girls, no.
don't.
The girls would be too tough.
Okay.
But like I said, because growing up baseball, always the dream was going to College World Series. My dad lives in Connecticut. I lived in Arizona. It was always a dream to be able to get in there, play in there, and have my dad come and watch me play and all that. Well, that dream fell through when I got kicked off the team my senior year for smoking. But
Smoking cigarettes?
But yeah.
Yeah.
But I was high too.
Yes.
But
Devo does listen. So
He is a big fan.
Fast forward 35 years, my dad got to watch me play in the U.S. Adaptive Open.
Oh, that's cool.
2 times.
That's
so, I mean,
cool.
that was heartfelt.
That's neat.
Like I said, it's just crazy how golf just. I mean,
Brings
I
everybody
never hung out with disabled people, but now it's like I get around and it's just like a big happy family and.
Well, with your personality, you're like the life of the party.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a building, everybody knows that Larry's there.
Yeah, I just try not to be obnoxious about it. Yeah.
You just said something interesting that you said you didn't really hang out with other disabled people.
No.
But is there a community here? Like when you go golf, do you call a buddy another seated buddy that
Actually, I do
with?
have one here. We're because it's hard to get the carts around.
Yeah.
But he has his at Orange Tree, so we talked the other day about getting my cart over there because we're actually in May we're having an adaptive tournament there at Orange Tree.
At Orange Tree.
Yeah.
Oh, outstanding.
So
okay.
so that'll be there. So I do every once in a while play with them. It's not on a regular basis because I'm out there every day.
Okay.
Or 5 days a week.
You're playing 5 days a week right now?
Well, Whirlwind, thank you, Whirlwind. Thank you, Keith. You guys are the greatest. They allow me to practice. I'm an ambassador there, so I get to practice. And
Really?
yeah, they take really good care of me.
Yeah. I'm open on Tuesdays. I don't know. If you get a +1 with that deal.
There you go.
So I've had some help along the way. Like Augusta Ranch out there, Don Rain out there.
Yeah.
They help me out with some of the cost of the fees because that's where I go work on my approach shots, the executive course.
Okay.
Because it's all short, and then Whirlwind I use for my short game and stuff like that because it's starting to get dialed in. And then now I got to find it. You can't start playing the same places over and over. It's like dude.
Yeah.
Which leads me to
When
my
I
next
go
one.
somewhere else, but so I'm starting to try.
Okay.
We're gonna start working on that because I did get a new cart. I got a brand new cart now, so I could transfer that. My old one I leave at Augusta Ranch, so that's where I get my lessons and stuff.
So we did the three of us kind of sat around and just shot the shit one day. I'm talking about like bucket list. Do you have a bucket list of courses that you would like to play? It sounds like you've hit a couple of pretty good ones already.
Well, did you play number 2?
No. Okay. I have this conversation all the time.
Is that Pinehurst?
Yeah.
I'm not I'd rather go to the Baseball Hall of Fame and think that's heaven.
All right.
Because that's where I grew up. I'm a
with you,
baseball
buddy.
guy.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So now when we talk about golf courses, it's like I just want to golf.
You just want to golf.
So I got people like, you know what? Now, don't get me wrong when I say it. I'd love to go to Europe and play, but it's just like it's gonna be rainy and cold, and I don't like to play golf that way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Who does?
There you go. There you go.
I mean, like we went to Pinehurst, and Pinehurst is great in itself and all that.
Yeah.
And like I tell people, I live in Arizona.
Right.
I wake up and I go golf at Whirlwind every day of my life. And when I really want to, I venture up north and go play True North. So it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
living
hard to
a-
get better.
Yeah,
it's hard to
it's
get
like,
better.
Pretty good.
We
Yeah.
live the
Yeah.
high life in golf. So I don't bucket list. No, my bucket list is to keep. I want to play on another Ryder Cup type team because that was the greatest time. I mean, I played for what we call the Phoenix Cup, and what it is, it's a Ryder Cup for adaptive golf, and it was the greatest experience. I mean, and back to the crying thing. I mean, I was put back on the home team again. I got shot on that day, and now that came full circle, I got to play, and we won. It was great. I had some amazing shots. I had you got equipment in it, but anyway. So now we're day 2. We're playing Sandpiper, and basically it's poor man's Pebble Beach. It's right outside Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're up 1 going into 17. Because I played forward, so the guy hit his tee shot. And he was about 110 out. My other dude hit his. He hit out. So, and then the girl that we're playing with for him, because it was better ball, she hits hers and she was out of bounds. And then I smacked mine. I'm 54 yards out. So now he hits his second shot. He comes in front. So he's 30. He's still he's like 20, 30 yards in front of me. So he's still got to get in the green. I chip mine. I'm a foot and a half off. And he goes on. He's 12 feet. So now I'm thinking to myself, just 2 putt. I'm good. I get up. Now, we're the last match. So everybody's done.
Yeah.
So everybody's up there.
How many people? Guess.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
60. So now I come up here and I'm just like, okay, just get it close, right?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, shit, that's going on.
Oh, you made it?
Oh, man, people are erupting. Dude, and it's weird because I have some good shots in some of these tournaments, like the Adaptive Open. I was it was 9th hole, but it was 18th for my day.
Yeah.
It was the first day, and I'm 15 feet, and the camera's right there. I see the camera staring me down. I told my caddy's name is Cleetwood. The greatest caddy's name, Cleetwood. John Cleetwood. I go, Cleetwood, we're going to make this, bitch. And he freaking lined me up, dude. I got the video of it, too. It was on the Golf Channel. I go, like, Trano! And I start doing my birdie dance.
And there's our short for the Instagram.
There it is.
There.
Birdie dance.
So no, like I said, I had some good shots.
Great.
So I want to go back real quick because I know you said, and I know you have the most amazing wife, but she does take care of the kids and let you go golf and have the time of your life for 4 days at a time and almost every day. Like, how do you even things up at home? Like, because my mind is thinking, what do you got to do? Like,
point
wash
system,
the cars,
right?
make the bet, like.
Lots of points.
Like, I mean, or is she just like, Larry, you go do you. Like, I love you, go do it. You deserve it.
She understands who I am. She's, she's the most caring. I mean, just the most giving woman. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I do my part at the house. Mm-hmm. Do I do equal? Hell no. I mean, we just talked here about how I'm not doing equal, but
Right.
It works itself out. I mean, we have moments like we went to 2 of the 3 World Series games. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we kind of find our time. It's hard. Like I said, it's not the Down syndrome. It's not the autism. It's the motherfucking diabetes.
Really?
That's the hardest part because I can't drop them off at your house.
Yeah, you need somebody who's trained to
somebody that, because I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, but if you've not been around it, you're not gonna be comfortable with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the worst case scenario. Something they can go in attitude shocker. All these words, like I said, Italians, we have tongue twisters. I can't say all the big words, but
yeah, she's an amazing woman.
she's an amazing. I don't know. I mean, I said I know I don't do my fair share, but I do. I don't. I mean, I do. Like, I mean, I'm doing the Christmas decorations. I mean, we do. Sure. We just do our thing. I mean,
it works. Yeah, that's what we're all saying. It's a balance.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm not gonna put words in your mouth. I've only known you for about an hour now, but it sounds like, I mean, you guys are obviously a really good team together, right?
Yeah.
For this family unit, for what you do, and for what the ambassador that you are for others. And it sounds like that's been your quest for the last 20 years, whether you knew it or not. But the inspiration that you are, like I'm like I've got goosebumps over here. You talking about all this stuff because I know. Again, if you're trying to get a kid that you've never met before into the game of golf because he's in a wheelchair, how inspiring that was, and you had somebody do it for you, and you're going to pass that torch. Yeah. And so for you guys to be that team, that's freaking awesome.
Freaking awesome. Like I said, I mean, she understands. I mean, oh God, I mean, I'd say so hard. I mean, she understands that without that,
Does she keep you level when you do win that tournament and you come home and you think you're big shit?
Oh, she laughs at me.
I don't think anybody's keeping him level.
You're like, where's the tomahawk and the lobster for the champions dinner?
Oh yeah, no. She'll go. How many people did you play against?
Said it was Larry's tour. It was Larry's tour. Come on.
Well, there were 60 watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome, Larry. Hey, this has been awesome, man. You are a true inspiration, and we appreciate you being here and appreciate you all do for the world.
We could go for hours. We could go for hours.
I brought gifts.
What? We're supposed to give you gifts.
This is when you
helping us out.
If you got a Sharpie, I'll sign it too. But I don't have to bring a Sharpie.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm Italian, so you got to bring gifts.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
First of all, here's one of our chips for our Seated Golfers Association.
Seated Golf Association. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good logo.
Solid. Seated
Yep.
Golfers Association.
Solid. Got it.
Any significance of the 3 stars on there?
No, this is the guy, the way he drew
Just
it
the
up
design.
for us. And then
That's amazing.
here's a ball with my logo. Oh, shit, this one actually got played in, so you're going to...
It's a game.
Game used.
Yeah, they are game used.
Oh, that's
Wait, this is your logo?
That's
his
him.
logo. I love
him.
it. I love it.
Oh, yeah, you even get game ones. All right.
Yeah, buddy. All right.
Gamers.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing definitely hit a rock or a tree.
That's
a little waterlogged.
That's great. That's a little.
You can have the water log.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
want that one. That's awesome.
Incredible.
This could be my 73 and my 77 too.
Let's say it is.
Yeah. Put a 7 on it.
But yeah, no. So that was. I mean, I got a logo because I was trying to figure. I mean, like I said, it gets expensive. And I was just trying to figure out.
We'll
a way
edit that.
I was trying.
That's awesome.
I was trying to figure a way to raise money, but it doesn't work. But anyway, hey, last thing, we're gonna end on a good note now.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
That's
I
great.
brought show and tell too.
Yes.
That's a hole-in-one
That's
plaque.
That's a whole one.
I'm
the camera.
jealous right now,
That's my
actually.
wallet. You don't want that.
And where did that happen at?
That happened
Look at
at hold on. That was Gila on number.
Do they have any 8s? I have a couple of 8s. I'd like to
They
bring
make the eights.
a couple of snowmen.
The snowmen.
We know how many people got hole in ones.
Yep.
We all know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have one?
No, I do not. I do not.
Okay. Now here's the Purple Heart.
Not a lot of people have that.
There's 2 million of those.
2 million?
2 million have been issued since when I think they came out in I forgot exactly. Okay. So now you put those together. You're going, okay, kind of unique. But then you throw in the kicker. That's the combat jump. That's the combat wings. Okay.
Are you confident you're the only one in the world?
90,000 people have got one of these. But now remember, a majority of them in World War II, and a lot of the 90,000 have multiple.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So now since Vietnam, we had 4,400 in Panama. Some jumped in the War on Terror, and then Vietnam had a few. So you put it all together. I kind of put myself one of a kind.
I would say. Is there anyone else that has all 3?
That's a trifecta.
I might know one other person, but I don't know anybody who's a spinal cord patient that actually has all.
I was going to say.
So this is the second one that I've seen in my life.
Really?
My cousin Danny was in the Korean War. My cousin Danny was in the Korean War and got one.
See, I'm not an award. I mean, like I said, people get like, you did that. I mean, that thing's been sitting in my drawer.
Look at that, though. 3 stars.
Combat
Weren't you just
jump.
saying?
Yeah,
the 3
maybe
stars
that's what
on
it's
the-
about.
Incredible.
Yeah, did you see that?
3 stars.
They both got 3 stars.
Well, look at
Some
that.
symbolism.
Maybe there is.
He's an Illuminati
I
member.
need to tell my
You
buddy
learned
Ben.
something there. There it
I need
is.
to tell my buddy Ben.
There it is.
But yeah, so
That's incredible.
that's the unique part of me. And then I'll just wrap up real quick on what I feel like to say. So I mean, if you guys know anybody or anybody out there that's listening, if you want to golf, it's there. It's accessible for anybody. Not just myself who plays from the seated division, but there's amputees, there's CP, there's neurological.
Got it.
Italian.
There's, like I said, short stature. There's blind. There's.
What's the best way to get more information, Larry?
You could go to the website called usaga.org, which is United States Adaptive Golf Alliance, and all that will be out there. They can always direct message me, look me up.
Cool.
My what I call on Instagram is @Larry the Seated Golfer, just like the seated.
The seated. Okay.
So there's ways they can get in contact with you guys, and you guys.
We'll post
like
all
I
of
said,
that.
we're all
Absolutely.
about inclusion. We're all about growing the game. So I mean, if there's anybody that even just has a little inclination that they want to do it, let us know, and we'll figure something out.
Is there a gallery at the tournament in March at Orange Tree?
No.
There's gonna be.
There's
gonna
at least
be.
3.
Do they all-
May.
Sorry, May.
Yeah.
So, do people come and watch?
Sure can.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then, is there booze?
That I don't know.
There will be in our flask.
Yeah, because our ass is gonna be there.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Like I said, only tournaments I know of, like the U.S. Adaptive Open, you're not allowed to drink. Now all the other ones, I don't know what the rules are.
We'll bend them a little bit, but also we're gonna bring cameras and we're gonna vlog your rounds there and produce it as a podcast. And I'm gonna announce it while you're doing it on the vlog, and you're gonna have it forever.
Let's make that
that would be
happen.
great.
great.
Wouldn't that be
make that
fucking
happen.
awesome?
Oh, that'd be fucking great.
Talk about pressure.
Groupies.
go.
Yeah.
Groupies. Larry's groupies.
But by the way, this is a little selfish because my dad's a huge golfer. Was a huge golfer. He doesn't golf anymore. He's 85. I golf too. I played in the tournament with Tim, but I've always been very, very jealous of Jim Nance and Dottie and like so. I just want to have a little microphone attached to that. I want to go. Larry, Nick, what does Larry have? I think he's got an 8-iron. So it is a little selfish because I want to do that. So
Let's do it.
Interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see how this works out.
Put it on the Ocho.
Just to let you know, some of my best shots were on camera. So
All right.
hey, there you go. We should
Yeah,
document it then.
Thank you so much for this. Love you, man.
Larry, that's
Love all
awesome.
you do for everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah,
Right
appreciate
on,
it.
Right on.